Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
Hello everyone. Hello all the participants. Good morning all of you, and myself Dr. Ila Patel, Associate Professor in the Department of Life Sciences, Hamchandracharya, North Gujarat University. Friends, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk in front of teachers group, and especially your group belongs to the life science, and all are associated with the teaching and research, both the activity. So friends, today I am sharing my views and thought and some research related to the marine algal resources, and some part of its applications I will discuss with you, and hope you will feel very interesting. And this is a field, different field, which is beneficial to all the botanists, geologists, microbiologists, and have a lot of things and scope for research for all the biologists. So let me start my lecture. With this brief introduction, I can say the content of my presentation will be, first of all, I will give you the introductions to the algal diversity, especially at the coast of Gujarat and India. Then I will discuss about the structure, morphology and classification of algae, especially focus on the algae of chlorophyta, algae of phaeophyta, and algae of rhodophyta groups. And after that, basic introductions to algae and its marine algae. I will focus more on the marine algal applications, and we discuss about the marine algae for the food, nutraceuticals, and for the industrial product. Then I will shift to the marine algae as a source of promising bioactive compounds, then research techniques for identification of these bioactive compounds from the algal group, then marine algae as a potential source of nanoparticles, and some research techniques which are useful in synthesizing, characterizing, and application of marine-based nanoparticles, and lastly, agriculture applications of this marine algae, and future directions of research for in the field of marine algae. Brief focus on all this topic I will present today. So let's come to the introduction part. Friends, marine biology. It is the science to study the marine organisms that live in the sea. And as we know that the oceans cover 71% of Earth's surface, and it is known that it provides a substantial amount of world food supply. Some of the valuable things that the ocean offers us are food, nutraceuticals, industrial products, raw materials for the industry, mineral oils, medicines. Again, it will help us in an ecosystem recreations. It will help in the transportation, in the tourisms, and it is a great source of marine organism for the major population over the world. So that is the reason that we can say that last great expense to be chartered and explored on the planet is marine algae and our solar power engines that deliver many weather patterns, is the sea. And second thing, it generate a huge source of productivity, and it is again a great source of various natural resources. So that is the reason we are very much interested in the marine science today, and it brings a lot of natural resources for us. So friends, marine algae is one of the valuable natural sea resource for the mankind, and I think I have to give one brief introductions to the algae and types of marine algae. What are the types and how the structurally they differ from each other. So I will now conduct my talk on this. So word algae. This refers to both prokaryotic and eukaryotic photosynthetic organism, and in the autotrophic system, algae can be denoted as a simple or a complex organism which has non-vascular, non-embryogenic, thalloid-like plant body. The algae are again divided into two types based on their size. They are microalgae and macroalgae. Although both the group have a common trait such as the ability to carry out photosynthesis, but they differ in a various way from their size to their phylogeny. See, this is the figure showing your microalgae, macroalgae classification. Again, the macroalgae have a different type, that is red algae, brown algae, green algae. So let us discuss about all these algae in detail. Microalgae, these are the small microscopic and should not be seen without microscope, and macroalgae are large in size. They can be seen through naked eye and have a definite structure of its own. Thus, the macroalgae which resides in a sea are also known as the seaweeds because they are present in a very much abundance, and they survive and conduct their life cycle in the sea and then again disappear in the sea. So sometimes they are in a very much mass present in the form of seaweed, and this seaweed has been strongly associated with the human existence since the ancient time, friends, and it is widely used as a source of food, nourishment, manure, medicine, etc., so and so on. And see, this is the structure of micro and macroalgae. Here on the left hand side you can see the microalgae, single unicellular chlorella like or a colonial of algae also present, which we can see and mark it through microscope only. Whereas the macroalgae, they are very giant and they can be seen, and mostly they are available in a sea, and they are so known as marine algae. They may be green or maybe brown like sargassum, chlorella. All these are the example of macroalgae. Then friends, I will talk on the marine algae. They have a great importance in their natural habitats and even more now in the world of green technology. The sprouting interest of the scientific community and industries in this organism driven by the fast growing world of modern technology. More than 71% of world surface is covered by the oceans, and that serve as an habitat for the diversity of marine organisms, especially all these marine algal species. Ecologically, if we consider then the marine algae are the base of most aquatic food chain and are important in the biogeochemical cycles, and in addition it serves as an habitat for the many organisms in an aquatic ecosystem, and that's why the present need for natural resources is shifting from the terrestrial to the marine or the toward the marine sites. See friends, this is a marine ecosystems. Here we just see that the or level of an organisms participating in the marine ecosystem, but the base part where we consider the photoautotrophs or the plants group which are known as producer are here in the marine ecosystem or in the sea is the marine algae. Mostly dominant producers are marine algae of different kinds, and on which the other groups like herbivores, carnivores, tropidators all depend. So it is a main organisms which participates in the marine ecosystem, and on which the life of other organisms depends. And this is the main way I can say that they are participating in marine ecosystem. In marine algae usually inhabits in a shallow waters. The macroalgae or the seaweeds, which is consist of main three group, that is the green algae, chlorophyta members, red algae, rhodophytas member, and few phyta members, that is the brown algae, all which are resides and present in the shallow marine waters, and their appearance and disappearance depends upon the low and up tides present in the sea. They are exposed to the sea surface during the low tides, and can be marked, study and collect during that period in this shallow water, and whereas otherwise they may remain attached to the substratum, and they remain at the depth of 300 to 400 feet, this red and brown algae, whereas the green algae present on the surface of the sea and they remain free floating or remain attached to the substratum. So in this way, these are the various habitat and the occurrence of marine algae in the sea. The plant body is thallophytes in nature. They are not having any vascular system. Uh, they are not having any vascular system, so they are non-vascular plants, and the body does not have true shoot and root system. The thallus can be simple or may be a complex advanced type on the basis of its structure, size, shape, and development. They constitute a small angiospermic like plant-like body in the group of Phaeophyta, especially where you may mark here in the structure that a root-like structure develop, which is known as rhizode or holdfast, but it is not true roots. Again, the leaf-like structure is present, which is not truly called as a blade. On that blade, the gas bladder or the receptacle, conceptacle like structure present, in which the reproductive structures generated and they will participate in the sexual reproduction. Beside this, they have a stem-like structure known as stipe, and this stipe gives supports to the blades and other parts. So in this way, sometimes in the Phaeophyta group, algae of marine algae especially, a small angiospermic plant like structure is reported. But friends, I don't know you have know or not, uh, so many meters means 1 meter, or some marine algae often palm-like plants, they will develop, they have an height of several meters, and they conduct their life cycles in the sea with that giant body and giant structure. So there is a great variation in the morphology of these algae in the size, shape and structure. Now I can say that the vast and primarily undiscovered taxonomy, physiological and biological activity, and the sophistication of marine life, mainly algae, is regarded as a new resource source of goods and is presently underexplored at a many levels. As per the study, algae make up almost 90% of aquatic plants and produce roughly 40% of world photosynthesis. So this is a big mass, and they are very good producers and can be a good source for the majority of human population. If we consider the classification of macroalgae, which is into the rhodophyta, phaeophyta and chlorophyta groups, that is specially based on their color. Colors means the pigment which is associated with the algal group, the nutritional component associated with it, and the chemical content of the cell of each types of algae. They are the things on which the classification of these marine algae based. Marine algae are naturally growing on different substratums. Sometimes you may mark it on a rock, or you may mark it in a coral reefs. Especially they are appearing on the body of other angiospermic plants. They are known as epiphytes, and sometimes it may found on the some giant sea animals body known as epizooic in nature. So this is the way they occur in the sea. Now friends, I will talk in the second part of my topic. I covered the marine algal diversity in the Indian coastal area, especially Gujarat coast. I will focus and talk. So we know that the Indian coastline is 7,517 kilometer long, and it is one of the world's 12th mega biodiversity country. Our country is the 12th in mega biodiversity country with 25 hotspots of rich and critically endangered ecoregion. The sea source geographically, geologically, and topographically and physical characteristics are the criteria for seaweed's growth. So, all the species of seaweeds will not grow on the whole the coastal area. Some species prefer a particular type of one coastal area, whereas the another species depend on the another type of one coastal part. So there are four types of shorelines on the Indian coast. First one is the sandy beaches, second one is the rock shore, third one is the coral development, and the fourth one is the estuarians area. See friends, the Somnath beach we considered as in sandy beach, whereas the second one Veraval beach is rocky type, and the third coral development have been reported in the beach of Mundra, and in the estuarian type of one shoreline is reported at the Gulf of Khambat. So these are the different type of coastal area found in the uh, Gujarat. And now I will talk about the coastline of Gujarat. Gujarat is a state in the northwest India. Gujarat is within coastline that extend for about 1600 kilometers, and the friends Gujarat and Tamil Nadu beaches are noted for their abundance of seaweeds, which make up some majority of Indian total seaweed diversity. The Gujarat coast offers a wide range of coastal characteristics because of its diverse geography, geomorphology, and coastal processes. As I saw it in my earlier slides, we have reported that the Gujarat coast is divided into four regions, that is the Gulf of Kutch, Saurashtra coast, Gulf of Khambat, and the South Gujarat coast. Around 60% of Gujarat coastline is covered by the Gulf of Kutch and the Gulf of Khambat. So there are 12 different districts which cover the coastal area of Gujarat and 1600 kilometer area of our state. So the states which are having a coastal part and are the first one is the Kutch, second Jamnagar, third district is your Porbandar, fourth district is Junagadh, and the fifth one is Amreli, sixth one is Bhavnagar, seventh is in part of an Ahmedabad, a very small part, and then Anand, eight. Ninth one is the Bharuch district, 10th one is your Surat district, 11th Navsari, and the last 12 Valsad district. After that, this is the last district. Then the Maharashtra coastal line will start. So in this way, a huge 1600 kilometer area is covered by all these 12 districts of Gujarat, and in this district, in this coastal part area, we will study the algal diversity. And friends, a lot of work on the survey and documentation of the algal diversity around the Gujarat coast have been periodically done by so many researchers. So still we are getting new species at this coastal part, and maybe valuable to us. So I will focus on some algal diversity of our Gujarat coast. It have 198 intertidal seaweed species, with each three significant group being represented. Here the rhodophyta or the red algae have a 109 species, belongs to the 62 genera. Then the chlorophyta green algae, which are 52 species, belongs to 23 genera, and the brown algae belongs to Phaeophyceae, or 35 species, belongs to the 16 genera. So these are the numerical diversity of this algal group. Then seaweed variety is abundant in the Gulf of Iceland, with an up to 130 algal species. In Gujarat, several green, brown, red and blue-green algae, maybe micro, have flourished well, and in addition, the seaweeds is abundant at the coast of Oka, Dwarika, Porbandar, Diu and Gopinath area on the Gujarat coast. So here you will find the lot of diversity of marine algae of all these three kinds, and this Gujarat's shoreline accounts for an approximately 22% of the country's coastline. The Gujarat coast is rich in marine bioresources and is experiencing the industrial and infrastructure sectors are development in these two sectors. So using this algal resource, one can do development in any field, in the field of research, in the industrial development, and in the other field. So friends, let us talk about the particular marine algal group, that is the green algae, which belongs to chlorophyta. The some characteristics and the availability in the Gujarat coastal part. The green algae belongs to the phylum Chlorophyta, and which include a 6,000 species, and can be observed in a marine and as well as in a freshwater environment. 90% of the green algal species are found in a freshwater. Only 10% of green algae can be reported in a marine water. The dominant order of this green algae are Coloropus, then Descicladules, Siphnocladules are the major common orders, with a few algal species found in the marine water. Alga is the marine algae that grow on a rocky coast and attached itself to the stones, boulders and other objects present in the sea surface. The coastal area of Gujarat, typically we have conducted survey work and the sampling work in the Sivarajpur beach and Veraval beach or Veraval coast, and where we have reported 18 species of this green marine algae, whereas in the Veraval coast 8 species of this green algae we have reported. Friends, this is the structure of marine algae called the Briopsis Hypnoidus, and on which you find the dark green color finely branched thallus present in the bunch in the seashore and the marine ecosystems, and they are highly branched and grow very well and flourish in the beach of Sivrajpur. Other species of Bryopsis, that is Penata, they have also a very green, Lucian green color, finely branched and well developed thallus we have reported. The third one, that is the Alvaro Lacuta, which is a leafy vegetable-like structure, a well-developed leafy part, that is the frond, known as the leafy structure in the alva, and that produces the photosynthesis and reproductive organs on it, and they have been attached to the rocky substance in the sea surface. The another fourth one is the Anteromorpha Comparison, which is again a light green thallus, finely branched, well developed in bunch, and they are present and we have reported. Beside this, well-developed thallus are often green algal. We have reported during the period of 2019 to 2021 are the members of Bryopsis, that is the some species of Bryopsis, Coloropus species, or different type of Coloropus species. Then the other Anteromorpha, Ketophorans, Cladophoropsis, all these are the some members. If you want to know more about the diversity of this algae at the Sivrajpur and Veraval beach, I have attached and one link and papers with these presentations. You may refer it. Now, brown alga are the Phaeophyta, members of Phaeophyta groups. These brown algae are indeed the wealthiest category of seaweeds in context of thallus, size and growth biomass generated among the three major groups. As I said, that brown algae are very giant in size, from few microns to the few meters in size, and they are very rough and tough and robust. Algae can survive and harsh condition of sea, the change in a temperature, change in a light, change in the salinity level, and change in the temperature. Everything can be tolerated by this group of an algae, and that's why this group of an algae have a very great value in research, and they have their own biomass production in a high amount, and they have high survival rate in any harsh conditions. Brown algae belongs to the phylum Phaeophyta and have a distinguished type of an pigment known as fucoxanthines, which is responsible for brown color of the algae. Brown macroalgae predominant in the intertidal and upper littoral zones. The brown and red algae show a more morphological and anatomical variation than the green marine algae. These brown algae, the pigments of these brown algae, they have also great market value. The Sivrajpur coast have 22 species of brown marine algae, whereas the Veraval coast have a 7 species of an brown marine algae. We have reported, and the dominant species Dictyota dichotoma. See this, at the initial phase of development, they have been reported in a green in color, and then whenever they mature and produce reproductive organs, their color started to change from green to dull green and then yellow to brownish golden in color. So this is again the structure of Dictyota in a golden color phase. Then the other dominant species in the Dwarika, Veraval and Sivrajpur beach, that is the Sargassum swartzi. Lot of species of sargassum we have reported, but look at this species. It is a very special and dominant species in our Gujarat coast. It looks like a small angiospermic plant or a climbers. They have a well-developed polyphenols structures, have a well-developed air bladders and stem-like, root-like structures, but they are marine algae. Then friends, other species, you look at the beauty of the fourth one on the right hand side bottom. It's look like a fan, Japanese fan like structure. This is the structure of brown algae known as Patina tetrastomata. This Padina have a beautiful brown color in its natural conditions, and they have a variation in their size, small size to large fan-like structures and lobe in it. And the other brown species which we have reported during 2019 to 21 are the other species of Padina, Padina buriana, Padina tetrastomata. Then beside this Calmompia, then the other species, so many species of Dapteris have been reported, Dictyota have been reported in the Gujarat coast, and this is the other sargassum species. Yes, I said we have reported 8 species of sargassum at the Surajpur beach, and they have a very diverse kind of thallus structure, branching patterns, their growth and entire morphology is different in all the 8 species of sargassum. Then friends, the third one is our members of red algal group, that is belonging to the Rhodophyta. These red algae are probably one of the oldest group of eukaryotic cell or algae, with a fossil evidence drifting back almost 1.2 billion years. The red algae reflects an old photosynthetic lineage of eukaryotes that evolved from the primary organism. So that is why this have their own value. Species of this red algae can survive in a broader spectrum of light condition. They are, I just said that 300-kilometer depth, you will find a good flourishment of this red algae in of a different shape, size, color, everything. These have an Fibobiline pigments, which is a water-soluble pigment found specially only in this red algal group, and the chloroplast of this red algae and can be predominant, and due to that predominant phycobilins, they thallus looks red in color. But friends, one thing I want to share here is that the phycobilins are of two types, phycoerythrin and phycocyanine, and phycoerythrins give the red color to this algae. They have a lot of shades in their colors, not only pure red but dark red, light red, pink, dark pink, light pink, violet, and all this shade of all these colors are present in this algal group, but it is only in their natural habitat you will mark this color variation and color presence in their thallus. But when we will bring this algae to the lab condition, or when we preserve this algal group, then they lose their color due to the water soluble pigments, and they decolorized, and that is the peculiarity of this red group of algae. We have reported an 18 species of that red algae in Shivrajpur, and there is 7 species at the Algal Coast. So this is the structure of an Helminia, and this is the Sarcomnema. This is the another. The look at the structural difficulty here. The thread-like fine branched thallus in Helminia, whereas the ribbon-like branch broad Sarcomnema thallus, and having an reproductive organs at this stage of development finely branched. The one more algal species, Crastillaria dura, which I am speaking, is a very important species for the industrial point of view, and it produces an valuable compound known as the agar from its gelatin, and this is very important for the industrial point of view. Then I will see these are the other certain species of red algae which we have reported, and these are the Aspergopsis, then the Chondria, then the some species of Helminia, then some species of the Spiridia, and all these. These are the other species which have Gracilotopia, then Champia, species of Champia, different kind of Champia species. Then here the even the species diversity have been also reported in Gracilaria and Hypnea. We have reported Sarconema. These are so lot of species of red algae we have reported, and this is the one of my publications or publications of my team that have reported the algal diversity of these two sites. First one is related to the Varawal site, another one is related to the Shivrajpur coast. So if you want, I have attached the link of this paper. You may refer for the more algal diversity of our Gujarat coast. So the friends, now the question arises: why marine algae is so valuable? What is the importance of this marine algae? How they are superior to the other angiospermic marine plants, and why our shift is from terrestrial plant to the marine plants? To answer all these questions, just look at the slide. That first thing is that these marine algae, they have an ability to face the harsh condition. They tolerate the harsh condition of light, harsh condition of high salinity. Even they bear the deficiency of nutrient, and they bear the toxicity level up to an extent in their natural conditions. And beside this, the change in temperature, change in the environmental ecosystem, or the cycle of the marine cycles, everything whenever it is changing up to an extent, then they are able to tolerate it, and they continue their life cycles, and they carry out their reactions in the body and their metabolisms, and they produce a lot of bioactive compound in their body. And these bioactive compounds have a lot of applications, and nowadays we are exploring these bioactive compounds very much, because in various field of our development we need marine resources to participate. So the applications of this bioactive compound, it may work as an free radicals, it may act as an antioxidant compound, and it may help in forming the healthy stable molecules for the life and for the betterment of human life and for curing the several human diseases. So to answer all these questions of why marine algae, what are its applications, I will continue the next part of my lectures. Now, by applying the various biotechnological tools to explore the hidden property of marine algae, uh, we are using it, and we have learnt a lot of application of it. So friends, I will talk one by one, possible within the time, and try to complete the some of the applications part, which is along with the research need of present day. I will also focus research techniques and tools which are applicable through the development in biotechnology in the field of marine algal development. I will talk. So it is very useful in the phytoremediation. Okay, and the second thing, we know that from times immemorial that it is used as a food and nutraceuticals. It is useful for the animal and fish food. Then it acts as an biofertilizers. It is useful as an cosmeceuticals and pharmaceuticals products. It also help in a food colorant, act as a food colorant, natural dyes, and fluorophores, they are acting as in that. Then it is a source of fuel. Nowadays a big research is going on in the field of biofuel generation using the marine algae agent source. So Friends, this is a very good field of research for future. Then paper making industry, bioplastic, a lot of industrial application is there. Let us discuss about the application part. First of all, I will give a brief introductions to the high nutritional value of this marine algae. When we go to the hotels and other countries, continental countries dishes, then we will find a soup, salad, and a lot of bakery dishes which have been prepared from this marine algae. Why? Because they have a great nutritional value. They are a good source of minerals. They are a good source of protein. They are a very good source of various kind of lipids, and it is having vitamins of all the categories. Then they have a lot of types of pigments, and beside this the chemical substances and other bioactive substances are associated with these marine seaweeds, and that's why they have a high nutritional value. Friends, we know that all the three categories of marine algae generated particular type of an bioactive compound or chemical compounds, but same compound is not a source from same kind of algal group. See here I have shown you that the green algae generate 10 galactons, alvans, xylons like and compounds, but especially the red algae generate the charagens and agarts are types of special substances, and we can obtain the alginates, fucoidins, laminarian starch, all these substances from the brown algae. So the source of different compound is different categories of marine algae. Okay, and they have a notable merits, and they have their own importance because they are available in an abundant amount. They are easy to extract and processing. They have in biological activity, so many biological activities. They are biodegradable in natures, they are non-toxic in natures, and that's why they have in great importance in various biological activity. See friends, look at this left side figures. It shows that they have an anti-cancer activity, neuroprotective activity, they have an antioxidant activity, immunomodulatory activity, and the antithrombic activity, and so on. A lot of activity have been reported from these marine seaweeds, and that can be explored and utilized in for the betterment of human health. Now, let me shift to the topic marine algae is a source of promising bioactive compound. Say, friends, you are all from the life science group and you have started your research, so you may go for a research in this field. This is my area of research, bioactive compound from these marine algal groups, and I have reported some valuable marine algae which are generating a lot of bioactive compounds, and I will talk in this part some algal groups, some compounds, and the technique associated with this study to protect themselves against herbivores, microbial infections. Seaweed use various chemical, physiological, and structural defense system. So they don't need on soldiers like us. They have their own defense system. They protect themselves in the marine condition. These defense systems differ according to the geographical temporal distribution of seaweeds and their related herbivores, and they are metabolically intensive for the algae. Marine algae have developed in several defensive mechanisms also, namely temporal, unique escape, chemical defense, morphological defense, structural defense, and so on. They have a lot of defensive chemical mechanism in their body, and these marine algae generate this kind of an compound, and which include the phenol, aromatic substance, volatile substance in the form of an phytochemicals, and they protect them in these harsh conditions. They give them to survive in a change in these harsh conditions. In this way, the bioactive compound have a great value for the marine algae itself, and it is again how it is beneficial to us we'll also see in the next. So the category of bioactive substance which are present in the marine algae are the keratinoids, polyphenols, flavonoids, phycobilins, proteins of different kinds, pigments, different kinds of pigments, vitamins, phycoidins, then chlorophyll, terpenoids, then collagens, alginates, chitins. These are the valuable phytochemicals which have been reported in the various categories of this marine algae. I will not talk about all these category, but few important category which have a market value, which have an industrial applications, and nowadays very useful to the human being also. So I will talk about only some bioactives. Carotenoids, it's the most powerful nutrients or medicine from this algal group because they are potent antioxidant in nature, and they are tetraterpenoids structures which are very useful for curing the human chronic diseases like cancer, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, diabetes, and so on. So that's why it has drawn a great attention nowadays, and the novel algal based compound have been generated and sold in the markets with a great economic values. In recent years, the production of carotenoid has become one of the most successful activity in algal biotechnology. The demand of these compounds to obtain from the natural sources is increasing, which is promoted from the marine algae, and it's improved the carotenoid productions from the biological stores instead of this natural others chemical source. See, friends, this is the slide which is showing the importance of carotenoids and some market product nowadays available and very popular, and for the health improvement, for the health supplementary uh, products. These are the marine carotenes from red algae. Then these are the cage tablets again from this red algae. Then we have reported the zeaxanthin beetles from the algal marine algae, and again the last one is your supplementary diets which have been obtained from the red marine algae, and that is again having a valuable component in it is the carotenoids. So the percentage of carotenoid and types of carotenoids varies from product to product and brand to brand, and these carotenoids have anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-HIV, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal, anti-aging, all this kind of activity. Besides its help in the cardioprotective, hepatic protective, neuroprotective functions have, and they are source of provitamin A and help in the osteoprotective natures. So this is the importance of carotenoids, and we have very great industrial value of these algal carotenoids, and one can may start their research in the field of production of marine carotenoids formulations for the industrial uses and market. Second potent bioactive compound is the polyphenols from this algae. Polyphenols are structurally a diverse group of an organic compound that contain an at least one aromatic ring, and a hydroxyl group, one or more, and it can be divided into several classes depending on their structure: phenolic compound, flavonoids, non-flavonoids, and these are the various kinds and types in it. I don't have to discuss more, but these phenolic compound are rich in carboxylic acid and benzoic or cinnamic acids, and these are the main component in its products. Currently there are about 6,000 flavonoids and non-flavonoids, which include the stilbenes, tannins, lignans, and among others. The macroalgae contain a different type of polyphenols, and this diversity can be explained due to the different mechanism of adaptations that algae have, and they can be found in a very extreme conditions. They survive, they generate these polyphenols even during the stress conditions. They generate these polyphenols in more to protect themselves, and these polyphenols can be explored, and we can know that the algal body having metabolites and metabolism in their body, and this algal metabolism produces a different kind of metabolites, and that metabolites have a great value. And the one that is, it have a value in curing the diabetes like disease by producing the substances like alginate, fucoidins, fucoxanthin, diacol, or fluorotannins or fucosterol. These are the substances which help in curing the diabetes like disease. The other one is the oxidative stress can be removed by using the various pigmentation of an algae like keratinoids, phycobilins, and so on, and even the flavonoids we know. Then the another one is the inflammatory in natures, anti-inflammatory in natures. It helps due to the presence of substances like fucans, alginates, laminarils, carrageens, keratinoids, erythrins, and all these substances that help in the and work as an anti-inflammatory compounds which is generated in the algal body. And beside this also it will help in stress management. The mineral iodines, then dicol, fucoxanthin, carrageens, all these which present will help in curing the disease, cancer like disease, fatal diseases of human being. So let us see what is the reason, what are the metabolisms, and why they are producing all these secondary metabolites or bioactive compounds in their body. So the thing is that marine algae is subjected to the either hyposaline or hypersaline conditions and oxidative stress conditions, and study the rival consequent alternation at the transcriptional level, and which further impact the translation, amino acid metabolism, protein turnover, photosynthesis, and protein and nutrient cycling is altered due to this all hypersaline or the oxidative stress condition. And in this algae, what happened, many reactions such as the upregulation of many unknown genes belongs with a number of a gene and coding for the chlorophyll A and C binding proteins were also observed during the research in algae. The novel genes specific to the brown macroalgae, along with the downregulation of a gene coding for enzymes related to the nitrogen assimilation, which again also affect the free fatty acid content, were also reported in some marine algae. So in this way, the metabolic change associated with the alternation of marine conditions and gene expression and change in the transcription translabel level will affect the production of this bioactive compound from this algal group, and sometimes it promotes and enhance these productions in the harsh conditions. Now, I will talk about the one more valuable industrial compound, that is the alginates. Are the produced industrially from the marine macroalgae or the seaweeds, belongs to brown algal group. And in particular, the seaweed commonly known as calves. Calves means the laminarial order, member of laminarial orders, that is the laminaria and all these. They are the most widely exploited worldwide as a raw material for the alginate production. The demand of this alginate production has increased over time, and it is likely to be increased significantly in future also, particularly for the use of alginate in current and future biomedical and bioengineering application. They are a part of very much medical products and treatments, and that's why they have a great industrial value. Alginate is typically used in the form of an hydrogel in biomedicals, including the wound healing, drug delivery, tissue engineering applications it have. One way to meet the current and future demand of this valuable compound alginate is to using the various precursors and encourage the alginate productions via kelp farming, algal farming, especially a algal farming is the alternative for that. So more the product, more the biomass, more the valuable compound alginate in the market. See, beside this, the other industry in which marine algae have applications are the textile industry. We are using it in the paint and dye industry, also in the welding of road, and in the it is again helping in it. It is a food and fodder for the fish and animals, and it is a component in the fish food. Then it having great value as a fertilizer and biofertilizer. The printing industry is also using this marine algae. Particular type of marine algae also have a value in mold release and in molding industry also. Beside these, friends, in the bakery items and in the bakery and industry and in the food industry, we are having a great value of these marine algae. They are a part of various bakery items where, and they are used in jam, jelly, and ice creams, like valuable and very popular products of the market. And they are a part of an many pharmaceuticals product, like tablets, capsules, and all these. They use the sodium alginates, and these alginate have a great value in the medical field also. See, friends, it is again used in the dentistry. Here the this alginate has been used in molding and casting the dentures, and have been utilized in preparing the dental items. So they have a great value in all the industry. Now, the one more thing I want to talk very brief, I will not go very in depth. Bioplastic productions. Yes, it is again possible from marine algae. Having various derivatives from the organic sources, such as we know that it has been produced from potato, corn, vegetable oils, etc. But nowadays we are not losing these valuable life sources, but we are using marine algae as a polysaccharides from this macroalgae, and we are using it for the bioplastic production. And the polysaccharides are keratin, agar, alginate, and that can be explored for making the bioplastic from this marine group. Marine algae based bioplastics, why? We have a lot of chemical plastic industry. But friends, it have their own advantages because no competitions with the food item, food resources first. Then second, it is easy to grow in a wide range of environment. Third, having high yield or high biomass, then it is a cost effective. And fourth one is that they produce the issue of excessive carbon dioxide emissions can be solved through these marine algae, and they are environmental friendly in nature. So bioplastic uh, from the marine algae is a new avenue for the industry, and one can may start their research and their work in the field of bioplastic productions using the marine algae as a resource. The vitamins, various kind of vitamins. Seaweeds is a big source of minerals and vitamins. We know we are getting a calcium, sodium, potassium, iron and magnesium like on valuable minerals from it. And beside this, these seaweeds are a precursor source of food as they contain protein, lipid, vitamin, mineral, and they are helpful for our food items. They are source for human being, and also we can supply these nutrients to the crop also. The seaweed mixtures have been used in animal nutrition also, because these seaweeds are naturally a higher supplier of vitamin B complex, B1, B2, B3, B6 and B9 and B12. These are the vitamins we are getting from it. Vitamins are very essential for all organisms as they present in the precursors as an enzyme cofactors, and that are essential for the metabolism of seaweed. Comprise both water-soluble vitamins, that is B and C, and fat-soluble vitamins, that is vitamin A, D, E, and K. So the vitamin can be obtained from these seaweeds. See, these are the some market product where we are using the seaweeds product as a supplementary diet or as a source of vitamins, as a source of minerals, ions, and C. Solarly, here the red marine algae, which has been used as a herbal supplements. Then oceanic silica, again a one product, algal based product. And friends, nowadays the organic seaweed snacks are also available in a foreign country. So it is again a one field of research and one field of development we need in our country, and one can use or prepare various kind of valuable snacks and other product using the various kind of seaweeds. Now the cosmetic, the algal application in the cosmetic item. Algae algal products have been used in the cosmetic industry as antioxidant, sunscreen, thickening agents, skin sanitizer, moisturizing agent to enhance the competence of skin against the abrasions and tanning activity. Pigment from the algae such as, excuse me, fucoxanthins from the brown algae, Laminaria japonica, Alaria, and Microcystis. Kind of on these algae, they produce the tyrosines and melanogenesis like on enzyme activity they have this property, and the antioxidant property of beta carotenes, which is again found in red and green algae. They help against the skin aging. Study have shown how polysaccharides from these certain algal species like the Circasum japonica, Chondrus, crispus, Codiums, etc. will help in the preparation of an various cosmetics having a water or moisture in it, which give us moisture to our skin, providing the smoothing effect and aid in the circulation of an moistures in the skin. See, these are the some market product or the cosmetic items nowadays. If you will open an market, e-markets or the website, you will find several seaweed-based market product which are having a cosmetic value. So it is reported in the form of body lotion and moisturizer for the hair growth and development. Several hair oils and products are available. Then anti-cellulites, anti-acne creams are present. Then antioxidant and anti-inflammatories cream are also available. Anti-aging, anti-wrinkles, sunscreen, whitening creams. A lot of market product, cosmetic products are available. See, these are the seaweed shampoo, conditioner, body lotions. They have a great market value, so one can explore a lot by by growing the research in the field of algal based cosmetic development and algal based cosmetic industry establishment. Beside this, the have an medical field. They have an application in a medical field. Macroalgae have been known to have an medical properties, medicinal properties since the time immemorial, and they have a great commercial value and employed in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals. See, pharmaceuticals firms have recently started to investigate the potential treatments based on the bioactive compounds obtained from the marine organism or marine seaweed instead of the plants and the other living organism. Extensive work examined the several major results relating to breast cancer, cardiovascular disease, thyroid disorder, immunological functions, inflammations, and antibacterial and antiviral activity have been reported in a scientific study and which focused on understanding the beneficial effect of this macroalgae on the healthcare. This is the again same thing that these marine algae compound obtained from these seaweeds have anti-cancer potential. They have an they are nowadays participated in the TC engineering aspect. You are useful in a drug delivery. They protect us from the UV protection. There several product of it will help in wound curing and in a various way they are helpful in the medical field. So this is one review which have a detail of this marine algae or especially brown algae as a source of valuable bioactive compound help in curing several diseases. If you need, you may refer it. Then friends, I think time will not permit me much, but I will talk little bit about the some techniques which are very useful for identification of this bioactive compound which have been developed especially we need in the preparation of an algal based medicines we want, then we need a purification of that compound, extraction of this compound, identification of this compound, and have to bring in into the market. So TLC, chromatography, HPLC, HPTLC are the some techniques which will help us to purify this compound. Once the compound is purified, then structural elucidation is also possible by using the technique like LCMS, GCMS, FTIRI, and then after the structural elucidation, the NMR technique will help to know the mass of this compound and identify this compound. After identifying that compound, we may add through biochemical characterization the character of that particular compounds which we have obtained from the algae. Then the other study related to the toxicity assay in vitro evaluations and the clinical trial is needed before it reaches to the market for the human welfare and for the medical treatment. So this is all related to the chromatographic techniques. Here we have applied this because this technique is very good over other techniques, and they have their own importance because they have a stationary phase, high pressure module technology, new possibility have emerged for the separation of these complex bioactive substances from the system, and these components are separated truly and characterized by some similar structures and properties. We can separate it and characterize it. Then beside this, I will won't go to in detail, but in chromatography the TLC is a typical basic technique, but nowadays one can explore the HPTLC, HPLC, LCMS, GCMS, gas chromatography to separate it. And this is a table in which you will find a brief work related to brown algae which have been explored, and from them the compound, bioactive compound of different categories were isolated, separated, purified by using these analytical techniques, and then they have been put forward for the herbal formulation. So this is the work. You may refer these papers in detail for the more information. HPTLC, as I said, I won't go through it in more detail because this is the why HPTLC, because in HPTLC we have an option to take on compound can be observed in a different wavelength of an fluorescent light, or you may use a white light, you may use UV light, or here the compound can be seen before derivatization, after derivatization. This, see, there is a lot of change, and you will mark this bioactive compound in the form of particular band, and that band can be again you will find data in the form of 3D graph, spectral graph, in the table form. A lot of option is there in HPTLC in which you can separate a particular compound of your interest and identify it and bring it to the pharma industry. See, this is a chromatogram. Here one band of our interest is present, dark color. Now we have a lot of new things in the HPTLC. We can separate these through the help of interface. Then we can take a mass of it through mass spectroscopy. We can obtain the result in the form of an peak area, peak length, peak height, and we can then identify the particular compound, and we can then use it for the pharmaceutical formulation. This is again one of the publications which show you use of HPTLC techniques in studying the various kind of bioactive compounds which are present in the algal groups, especially of Padina brown algae. Then marine algae is again a very potential source nanoparticle. Nowadays we know that green technology is very famous, and we are using marine algae. This having diverse range of biological activity, chemical and secondary metabolites which are present in these algal groups are helping in this nanotechnology industry, and they allow them to function as an natural industry for manufacture of metal and metal oxide nanoparticles. In comparison to traditional chemical and physical methods, the green synthesis method using a marine algal extract has gained and greater attention as being easier, it is eco-friendly, less time taking, and which act as a good biofabricators for nanoparticles in preparation. The preparation of nanoparticles with control size, shape, crystalline natures have one of the primary targets in the science, nanoscience, and that could be utilized and obtained through application of this algae. For example, medicines, biosensor, catalytic activity for the various bacteria and removal of bioremediation. It is all possible by using these nanoparticles. So nanoparticle again, one most interesting area of modern science. And here the algae have the capacity to hyperaccumulate the metals and change them into the nanoparticles and indicate the perfect option for green synthesis. So that's why. And second thing is that very limited literature is obtained. No doubt green synthesis from the hyrangiospermic plant is popular, but the algal based green synthesis is limited, so one can focus in this again field of research. And this is all regarding the characterization of nanoparticle, which is possible through the size, shape, surface area, and dispersity is possible by using the technique of UV visible spectroscopy, and here it will help us in finding the DLS, the and the size shape of the particles. Then same time and this can help us in finding the shape and size of the particles synthesized. Then FTRI will help us to know the various functional group which is present in the algal, marine algal group extract, which help in synthesizing these nanoparticles, and the XRD patterns will confirm it. So in this way, I will not go in much depth. These are the detail of technique of UV visible, then the same technology, TAM technology. Here the TAM has a 1,000-fold higher resolution compared to the same. So that's why for algal based particles can be screened through TAM is more beneficial, and the element composition of this metal nanoparticle is commonly used. Their energies can be possible through EDS. So in this way, XRD and FTRI, as I said, that will help in analyzing the particles, crystal nature of the particles and functional groups which are associated with the nanoparticles. So these nanoparticles are maybe using silver nanoparticles or gold nanoparticles or other metal oxide nanoparticles. All these nanoparticles can be possible by using it, but here the main source, biological source for this green synthesis is the marine algae, and especially a brown algae. They are a very good source for obtaining all this kind of marine particles, and they have a great value in synthesis of marine particles. These are some algal group which has been explored in synthesis of these various group of metal based nanoparticles. And here also you mark that codium, Patina sargassum, all these brown algae are more useful in synthesis. What is the application of this algal based nanoparticles? So again, one can say that all the nanoparticles which have been synthesized from the higher plants or microorganisms, they have a lot of application. One can start, if I start from right side, then it improves soil quality, plant growth, and agriculture needs. Then again it is useful in curing the various human fatal diseases like cancer and diabetes and all these. Then it is again helpful in drug delivery systems. It participate very nicely, and this nanoparticle are very good in drug delivery, and it help in the photothermal therapy. It help in the cosmetic and other medical applications. They have an antimicrobial, antipathogenic, antifungal, kind of activity, antiviral activity, also reported nowadays from several marine algal based nanoparticles, and the work is going on, and one can combat several human fatal diseases by developing marine based nanoparticles, and one can may have a research in this field. Then application of nanoparticle in dye degradations. So it is again dye is a big problems, and dye degradation photocatalytic activity of synthesized silver nanoparticle was examined by degradation of methylene blue under sunlight irradiations, and green synthesized silver nanoparticles were effectively degrading the dye nearly 95% within a 72 hours of exposure time. So this is the work of one of the researchers, and they have reported valuable importance of this algae in dye degradation. They are also useful in water treatment. Here, see friends, three uh, water purification systems are there. One is on organic nanoparticle based, inorganic nanoparticle based, and third one is on a chemical nanoparticle based. But here in a organic based means nanoparticle synthesized from an marine algae. These nanoparticles are designed to attract water and are highly porous. They are soaking the water like on sponges and will repelling the dissolved salts and other impurities present in water. Second, they are hydrophilic nanoparticles embedded in the membranes, also repel the organic compound, bacteria, etc., and which then tend to clog up conventional membrane under the time over the time. So in this way, the biological or the algal based nanoparticles will help in water purification. Phytoremediation is another valuable work. Here the I can say that phycoremediation. From algae, we can remove the pollutants or non-toxic substances. And here the marine algae are being considered for their multiple advantages. Marine algae can remediate heavy metals contamination, contribute to the wastewater treatment, also lower the atmospheric carbon dioxide, and in this way the phycoremediation is possible through the use of this marine algae. Yes, at the initial phase of my lecture, I said biofuels generation. Marine algae have the potential to contribute towards the world future energy security. At the same time, helping to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions and mitigate the global climate change impact as compared to the conventional fuels. The biomolecules in algae for the biofuels industry are the carbohydrates of various kinds for the production of bioethanols, biodiesels, respectively. They have been produced from this marine algae, and nowadays a lot of work around the world is going on to utilize these marine algae and the polysaccharides or the carbohydrate from this marine algae to generate the biofuels for the future saving. Then role of this marine algae in agriculture. See friends, this figure will show you that if we are applying this marine algae based powder fertilizer or liquid fertilizer or any sort of marine algal extract to the growing plant, then it work in a two way. First of all, it improve the quality of soil because it add a lot of mineral ions in the soil and other component in the soil which will helpful to plants. And second thing, in plants they absorb these minerals highly, and they help in the growth of the plant and stimulate the plant growth and reproduction and final crop yield of the plant. In this way, the application often these either nanoparticle fertilizer or direct marine extract in any way to the any agriculture crop, there are a lot of reports, and we have added a book and reports in our reference part. You may use it for your better reference. And the monitoring of these changes in a plant, changes in a soil, improve in a productions, pigmentation, everything can be possible by a smart monitoring device nowadays, which is very popular in the field in the agriculture field. Then seaweed fertilizer is again things which are having a great value for the crop improvement, horticulture crop improvement, and leafy vegetable improvement. The seaweed extract applications on many plants enhance the vegetative growth at a very lower concentration. It have found a wide application in a modern agriculture for the use of marine macroalgae as a fertilizer. The seaweed contains all the trace elements, and plant growth hormones are also reported in some algae, and which is required by the plant for their growth, and they are reported as a regulator promoters for the enhancement of vegetative growth and yield attributes of plant. So look at the figure here, the one without fertilizer application, another is with liquid fertilizer applied. You will find a several fold enhancement in the growth of this plant. Marine algae have long been used as a natural fertilizer on the shore and nearby land. Ascophyllum species in Scotland, brown algae in a certain place in United Kingdom and France, sargassum species in Philippines, and green algae in certain parts of Argentina among the other species have been reported as a valuable biofertilizer or the algal based biofertilizer for the crop improvement. These marine algae were buried into the sand on the beach or in the nearby land and then allowed to rot and form an useful organic fertilizer. Brown algae named Ascophyllum Eclonia fucus commonly used to produce the organic compost. Compared to the conventional compost, marine microalgae based compost provide the following advantages. They have a high nitrogen, high potassium, high other elements contained in it, good moisture retention property, and improvement of the soil and plants. Soil aerations and plant growth is possible through application of these algal based fertilizer. These are the some market popular algal based fertilizer. Sagarica is a product of an IFCO company. It is a consortium of marine algae which are very popular in market for crop improvement, crop growth. Then other nano fertilizer, nano urea, nano copper, and this kind of a nano zinc have been developed by the several company, and which have reduced the input cost, which save the environment, eco-friendly in nature, improve the nutritional value of the crop, increase the production of the plant, and useful to farmer for the income, and they enhance the crop productivity. In this way, the use of marine algae as a liquid fertilizer, as an biofertilizer, is having a great value in improving the agricultural. So again, friends, this is my publication, and you may refer it use of nanoparticles in agriculture. Then future direction of research or the future need of research in the field of marine algae. I can say that from last few decades, we have witnessed several development in the biotechnological application of marine algae on three scales. One is on a research, second is commercial, and third one is the industrial applications. So the marine algae large scale production is required, and its pounding monetary implications of the cost of productions, represents the major challenge to date. So one can use or one can work or one can opt to research in the algal culture, large scale algal production, which have a great market value and which have a great economical value. So that can be our point of research today. It's provide an insight of several genes that have the potential to improve the solar conversions efficiency in a mass culture of marine algae for the biofuel production. Again, a lot of work is nowadays going on biofuel productions from marine algae, and at the gene level we need a work, a proper discovery related to genomics of this potential gene from this algae for high biofuel productions, which will solve the problem of our fuels in present day. The marine algal application in agriculture may bring new heights in the crop productivity and will help in solving the many problems of many nations for food and other needs which are agriculture based. Then synthesis of marine algae mediated nanoparticle will be a good platform for future researchers to carry out several biological applications of it. Then further, more reports are to be developed to identify the natural compound of the algae that are responsible for curing the several human diseases. Friends, at the end I can say that the genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics and their integration collectively termed as marine algal omics may be the new research origin in view of enhancing the better human life by addressing the environmental problems and encouraging the novelty in the from the marine algal research. So this is the things which is the need of present day, my friends. It is uh, my suggestions that you can opt any field of this research for using this marine algae as a base, and you can find out new things for our nations, new things for the world, for the better human life. Thank you very much for listening me carefully my lectures, and these are the some references which I have added with my presentation, some books which are very useful for the development and for the work in the field of marine algae. These are the seaweeds of India, then marine bioactive compound, lot of websites, link and my publications, all I have quoted for your reference. So thank you all the teachers for bearing me for this much time and listening my lectures, and I wish you very fine futures, and have a good day. Have a nice time, and thank you all, and good luck for the future. Thank you.